guys, Jenna here from Good Matters. Hey, I have a question for you today. I want to ask you, what would your life be like if joy were your priority? Can we let that sink in for a minute? What if joy were your priority? It makes you step back for a minute and think, well, what are my priorities now, right? If it's not joy, what are my priorities? Is it work? Is it serving the world? Right? And this is where we can get hung up a little bit, right? When you are somebody who thrives and who feels drawn to and called to making a difference in the world, right? And especially if you're somebody who's planning to have an impact in a big way, right? Doing a lot of good in the world. Sometimes we can intermingle this because in some ways those things do bring us joy, right? Absolutely, or we wouldn't be on this path. We wouldn't be on this mission of changing the world. And so absolutely serving and lifting and supporting and helping others and impacting the world absolutely brings us joy. And that's fantastic. But what we have to step back and look at is the energy behind the actions that we're doing. Because sometimes what can happen when we're feeling depleted or when we haven't taken the time to care for ourselves and to build up and to fuel up that tank, what can happen is we begin to feel a sense of obligation, right? Or a duty, or I have to do this because it's expected of me, or I don't want to let somebody down. And that somebody could be yourself. It could be somebody in your life. It could be your higher power, right? You might, if you're feeling called to the work of changing the world, you might feel that taking time away from that or doing things that to what you perceive to be selfish, right, focused on you, might be disappointing to God even, right? But I want to talk about this because the reality is that joy is the fuel that's going to get you where you want to go. Joy is the propeller that's going to allow you to impact the world in a big way, right? We know that happy people create bigger and better and brighter things. Happier people attract more success. Happier people align with resources and things begin to come into your life to allow you to fulfill the mission that you feel called to do and whatever it is, right? So it's kind of tricky because at times we can feel that if we take time away from all of the good that we're doing in the world and the people that we're serving and the things that we're trying to impact, if we take time away from that, we're being selfish. And that doesn't feel like it aligns with who we are. And so we get in this trap sometimes when what I want to help you see is that taking care of yourself and having joy is the absolute opposite of selfish, right? That is what empowers you to strengthen it. It's literally strengthening your light, right? So that your light is bigger and bigger and brighter, and that you are impacting and influencing and doing more and more good in the world than you could ever do if you were depleted and run down and not feeling joy, okay? So I want to talk about this question. What would your life be like if you allowed joy to be your priority? When I first met my coach, Tiffany Peterson, one of the first things she said to me as we were doing an inventory and kind of looking through these different areas of our lives, she said, I want you to make a joy list. I'm like, okay, joy list. What do you mean by that, right? And this is what she shared. The concept of a joy list is that you literally just take a few minutes to write down what are the things in my life that bring me joy. And sometimes it can be a little bit hard to think of what those things are, right? If you are out of the habit of allowing yourself to feel joy and do things that bring you joy on a regular basis, it can feel a little bit hard to even come up with that list. I don't care if it's 2 things. I don't care if it's 20 things, but I want you to start and begin writing a joy list of things that make you happy. It might be something as simple as having fresh flowers in your home, right? It might be as simple as watching a TV show. Sometimes when you're a do-gooder in the world, right? When you're motivated and you're trying to make impact and maybe you're running a successful business or you're working hard in your church or your community, you don't allow yourself to watch TV, right? There's no place for it. There's no time for it. There's a lot of negativity there. But for me, you guys, watching movies or watching an uplifting TV show or just sometimes entertainment, right? That's on my joy list. And for years, I didn't allow myself that. I was just busy. I was doing things and I didn't give myself permission guilt-free to sit down and watch a movie. And I love doing that, especially if there's popcorn and chocolate involved, right? And so when I was talking with Tiffany about this, she said, I want you to make a joy list. Write down 15 things that don't cost any money and 15 things that do cost money. Now, it might be hard for you to get to 15, but start where you can. If you can do more than 15, awesome, right? But make a column, things that bring you joy with money and without money. And then she said, I want you to make your number one priority doing something from your joy list every single day. And that was like, oh, really? That was so hard for me because I was not in the habit of doing that. But I took her advice and I went home and I started, literally, I was so depleted that all I wanted to do was sit and watch TV. And at the time, Downton Abbey was out, right? And so I sat down and I literally, you guys, watched 5 seasons of Downton Abbey in the space of 4 weeks. I don't mean 5 episodes, 5 seasons in 4 weeks, right? I took this huge retreat back. Now, yours might look very different, right? You might have no interest in watching television. Maybe you want to be out more in nature. Maybe you want to be reading books. Maybe you want to be at the park with your kids. Could be anything. But for me, I needed that retreat and that quiet time and that just shut off my brain and nobody needs anything from me right now, right? And so I did that. And literally within that space of those 4 weeks, as soon as I came out of that, it was like I was refreshed and recharged, and I went on to create something amazing for my business that has propelled me forward in ways I couldn't have expected. So whatever your mission is, right? Whatever's coming next for you, allow yourself to experience joy. Allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to care for you and do what you need to put fuel in your tank. Because joy is a magnet, right? When you are joyful, you are magnetic. And the people and the resources and the experiences that you need to help you go where you're wanting to go and impact the way you're wanting to impact will start to just show up in your life if you allow yourself to experience joy. So I challenge you to do that. Make your joy list. Let's start doing things that bring us joy and let's make a habit out of it, right? Let's be joyful, happy people. I have 3 kids, you guys. I run a thriving business. I have responsibilities in my community, in my kids' school, in my church. But I take time for joy, and I've finally given myself permission to do that and not feel guilty about it. And it's been incredible. And I so want you to have that experience in your life as well. Thanks for being here with me today.